Welcome to Now Included Unfiltered, a podcast to share real unfiltered stories right from our community. This week, we're back in the Windy City, speaking to mother and caregiver Veronica Riley. We cover her maternal health journey, her family history of chronic heart issues, healthcare system burnout, and the need for personalized medicine. These are unfiltered stories. This is an unshakable community. Come on, we've saved you a seat. My name is Tiffany Whitlow, and this is Now Included Unfiltered. Today, we are here in Chicago, Illinois, the Windy City. You can't actually come to a city and not meet with a native. So thank you so much, Miss Veronica Riley, for joining us here on today's podcast.
Thank you for having me.
So I know we all wear many hats.
Yes.
But one of your hats that you're known for is being a caregiver, not only for your sister, but also for your children. Now,
Yes.
To know me is to know I'm a mama first. So we got to roll it back, okay?
Okay.
How many pregnancies have you experienced?
I've experienced 7.
7.
And I have 6 children.
Wow. So through your journey with the 7 pregnancies, tell me a little bit about how your heart health was impacted through that pregnancy. Do you believe that you were physically able? I mean, hold on, maybe so if you had that many pregnancies, were you pregnant for like 10 years?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
For 10 years straight. It was the time my brother was like, don't carry that. I'm like, I'm not pregnant. He's like, I'm so used to you being pregnant. So it's like, it's just a running joke.
No, I think that's a real thing.
Yeah.
I think that's a real thing. Because we can't really dive into you being a caregiver for somebody else without talking about your own journey.
Yes.
And so tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do here in Chicago? You were born and raised here. I mean, I'm new. I'm just a few days in, a few hours in. Tell me a little bit about yourself, about your journey, about these pregnancies. Unfold it.
That's a lot. How much time you got? No, but I'm from the west side of Chicago, born and raised. I was raised by sunflowers. That's what I call my siblings. I was married for 20 years, and in that marriage, I had 6 children. But from my first pregnancy, high blood pressure was an issue.
Oh, wow.
So I ended up in that first pregnancy having Preeclampsia at 18, confused, scared, and all that kind of stuff, not even understanding what high blood pressure meant. Swollen. I don't know if anybody's ever seen anybody with Preeclampsia, but you swell up like a balloon. And so that ended up being my story with all of my pregnancies. And so eventually a doctor found out that I had a protein S deficiency.
Oh.
Which is one of the reasons why, it lends to blood clotting. So all of that.
Did you experience blood
I did. In 2017, I experienced a massive blood clot in my neck and shoulders and arms, which they kept telling me, you're not supposed to be alive. We're like, joke's on you, I still am.
Alive and thriving. So
Thank
unfold
you.
this. So you went from 18 is young.
Yes.
Okay, I got pregnant at 19. 18 is young.
Yeah.
So you had not only one pregnancy, but 10
Yeah.
after that, and experienced some difficulties.
Every last one. I think I was in the hospital for it after the first and second pregnancies. I ended up hospitalized pretty much the last two weeks to months of my pregnancies.
Oh my gosh.
So because of the high risk involved with it.
But you kept doing it.
I did.
So are these sunflowers, does this mean you came from a large family? Because there has to be some reasoning here.
Well, I came from a family I'm the youngest of 5.
Okay.
So big family, big love. But I also, full disclosure, got pregnant 3 times on birth control.
Okay, wow.
I got pregnant on the patch, I got pregnant on NuvaRing.
So
and
to your defense, you tried.
I tried,
Okay.
but that man
Not
was
with the
strong.
activity, but with
My ex-husband was like, no, you gonna have these babies. Somehow and I'm grateful because they're Earth's best humans, but it made it a little bit interesting being pregnant and having a family with illness. And then I had my first stroke when all 6 were already here, but that's when I ended up having my first stroke.
So your first stroke. So tell us a little bit about what that was like. I mean, do heart issues run in your family?
Yes,
okay.
Very much so. My aunt left us early on when she was probably 50 with heart.
That's
heart
young.
just
Yeah.
My sister, she was 48 when she had a heart transplant. Her 2-year heart anniversary was yesterday.
Yay!
So Happy heart anniversary, Martine.
Love
yeah,
that.
so my sister had her, and then my mother just had a quadruple bypass. So heart health is very much a conversation in our family.
Okay, so if this is a conversation, what were you doing preventatively? I mean, are you having screenings?
We do, yeah. I would say as a family, I remember my mother was diagnosed with diabetes when I was probably 8. So I've been eating like a diabetic pretty much my whole life, as far as avoid whole grains, avoiding refined sugars, sticking with honey and agave and things like that, more natural, because I found that natural eating lends to a better quality of life, even if, medicines and all that are important. But naturally,
obviously, they don't all work for you.
It don't. But yeah, eating naturally became part of our discussion as a family.
So on our platform, a lot of people share that they feel like they want to go get certain screenings, but they can't afford those screenings. Have you encountered any time where you or one of your family members have gone to have one of these screenings? Obviously, you have all of the proof to say X, Y, and Z running in your family, but maybe your insurance didn't cover it. You were too young. Have you experienced any of that?
I'm not sure, because like I said, even when they found the protein S deficiency, it was just this one doctor that said, why do you keep having preeclampsia? Let me test for this stuff.
Okay.
So I think part of it is just a lot of doctors treat symptoms, and so they don't try to find the genetic precursors to why you are having these symptoms all the time, like these issues. So that's what I found. It's just insurance, it does ask questions. They do check and see, like, wait, what do you have before ordering a test? I'm not even sure what to ask for.
So how did you find this one doctor that seemed to be the perfect advocate for you and knew exactly, like, we're going to get to the root cause of this?
Oh, that hasn't happened yet in reality, but just happened to be that one pregnancy, that doctor that I had during that pregnancy. I think he said he had been on one of those shows. One of those high-risk pregnancy shows from the Health Channel back, and this was 20 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That child's 20 now.
Okay.
But 20 years ago, he was on some health show. And so when he found out that I had preeclampsia and all my other pregnancies, he was like, let me try to find out why, because that shouldn't happen. But that was just one doctor. Even my blood clot wasn't found by my primary care physician. I was pre-screening for hysterectomy. Yeah, my health history is fun. I was pre-screening for hysterectomy, and I couldn't move my shoulder. So my gynecologist said, why can't you move your shoulder? I said, it's been hurting for like 7 months. Literally, my doctor prescribed.
Because we have such a high pain tolerance.
Yes, 7 months. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's pain tolerance. It's so, yeah. So I just didn't move it anymore for like 5 months.
It's like no big deal. I'm taking care of it. I'm taking care of all these kids.
I'll just use shirts that button, things like that. Yeah,
crazy.
Literally. And still working full time at Northwestern University at the time. But then she said, well, I'm just sending you for an ultrasound, and that's when they found that blood clot.
I am flabbergasted by the idea that, I mean, that's a really long time. Like, I'm joking and not joking.
Absolutely, yeah.
I do believe we have a high pain tolerance.
Very high.
For sure. But that's a really long time. What was your family saying during this time?
Well, they fuss at me, but they know I'm sick of going to the doctor. So it's one of those things where my family knows
you're burned out.
That I'm burned out from just going to the doctors and having tests.
This podcast is brought to you by Aclinate's Now Included community.
Get trusted resources backed by medical pros for your health. Tap into real experiences from people who look like you and find a safe place for your story. Walk into a space where being you is celebrated and find your power. Your health, your story, your power.
I mean, you're a native. Where are we right now?
I don't know the name of this beach, but I just know that this is where everybody hangs out. It's always a party that no one threw, because there's always music. Sometimes there's this guy that goes over there and plays the bongos. People are cooking and serving food, things like that. It's a beautiful place to hang out any time of the day or night.
Wow, this is a beautiful area. Oh, yeah. Hello, Chicago.
This is the Chicago that's worth it. It's the Chicago.
Wow, this is amazing. This is amazing.
Beautiful. Lots of trails in there too.
So, I mean, you really have had a long journey.
Yes.
And I think you really just touched on something that we don't really talk about often. And it's, I know I'm going through something, but this system has burned me out.
Yeah.
And so I don't trust the system.
No.
It takes too long.
Yes,
It wasn't
all of
built
those.
for me. Like, I mean, you're really touching on the fact that people are not relying on traditional care to be their care. There are many people that are looking at this and they're like, man, I think I can control this by what I consume. I think I control whatever is going on in my life by like thinking about what I'm doing, about exercising more,
Right.
about taking more time for massages and all this kind of stuff. But I mean, you touched on a real reality. Like a lot of folks is, I ain't going to that doctor. I mean, it's not for me.
And
how do you get over that? How do you start to trust the system?
I didn't exactly trust the system. I tried to utilize it as a tool as part of my whole health care. So I tried to focus on getting the testing done, because there were times when I would go and say, this is going on or that's going on. And literally one of my neurologists said, well, that's depression. That's not real. That's not true.
Wow.
Even this blood clot, they would say, well, people don't get blood clots there. That's not a normal place where people get blood clots.
I'm not normal.
And that's all I wanted to say. Well, I'm not normal. Please check it anyway. But it really is. You have to often, especially as a Black woman, you have to fight for your voice to be heard, for your pains to be real, to all of that. So you just kind of deal with what they're giving you, but also try to figure out your own path.
No, I mean,
your health.
You're hitting some trigger points for me, okay? Because one other reality that we really do not talk about today is personalized medicine. So y'all over here telling me that this is not normal, but you're also on the other hand saying that there's so many people that are so unique that I can no longer make a medicine and say it's for the masses. We have to have personalized medicine because each and every one of you are so different and so unique. So that's really interesting. We're going to have to dive into that on another topic one day, okay? But literally, so you are a caregiver also for your sister. So you've experienced a lot on your own. You spend a lot of time in and out of the hospital. Obviously, you spend a lot of time having babies. And here you are again having to care for your sister. So tell us a little bit about your sister's journey. What has that been like?
Well, what's interesting is she's always been a very, very healthy eater. By the time she went to the hospital, she had just been at the gym, and she was mostly vegan. I'll use that term because she just avoided red meats and things like that. But when she ended up in the hospital, they were flabbergasted at how poorly her heart was functioning, despite her relative health. Wow. And it literally she had a triple bypass first. That didn't fix the issue. Then she ended up having an Impala put in, which it pumped her heart for her. It still didn't work. And she ended up being on a transplant list for 1 week.
How old is she?
48. Okay. Well, she's 50 now. She was 48 when it happened.
Wow.
Yesterday was her heart anniversary. That's what we call it.
Yes.
Happy, her second birthday. But yeah, so her health was on paper beautiful. But that heart just, so we strongly believe that the combination of her healthy lifestyle kept her alive this long, and then medicine did step in to fix something that lifestyle can't fix. Okay. So when you talk about the marriage of medicine and health and healthy living, sometimes it requires both.
Yeah, I mean, and you're touching on it again, right? I mean, you've had times where it didn't work for you and you could get pregnant on birth control pills and your sister is relying on it and it's working for her. And that goes back to this, what the future of medicine is going to be personalized.
It has to be.
And it definitely, we deserve for it to be, right? I mean, so how is your sister today?
Oh, she's back at work. She's an RN in hospice care. So she's been on both sides of hospice care in that regard, and I was grateful. The fact that my health journey was so arduous allowed me to care for her in a way that was helpful and able to feed her the foods that I knew would assist in her healing while still being satisfactory while she was in the hospital. So that's one of the things I did for her and my mom, was try to provide them with the food that they needed to heal.
So what are you doing now to make sure that your family is focused on their heart health, that you all are getting screened, that everyone's talking about it? What are you doing today?
Well, the primary focus is on self-care, because if you care about yourself, you're going to do all the things, right? So living a life that's free of additional stress. We can't avoid stress, but stress is a big precursor.
Wait, tell me, how are you helping people with stress?
Well, I have a whole unique philosophy on how to live. I turn everything upside down.
Okay. Dive in.
Well, instead of making more, living less. Living more in harmony with what really brings joy. Yeah. So When it comes to finances, when it comes to home ownership, when it comes to work, all of that, doing it in a way that actually first brings you joy.
Yeah.
And then it fills all the other cups. If it's not for you, don't do it. That means a job, that means a relationship, that means a food, all of those things. So being purposeful in all aspects of your life, because health is not just at the doctor.
Yeah.
It starts with your job. It starts your
starts
career.
at home.
It starts at home. It starts with all those things.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I love that.
yeah,
I love that.
absolutely.
So if you had to leave viewers and listeners with one piece of advice, what would that be?
be a sunflower.
Ooh. Dive in. Tell us more. Unfold.
Sunflowers bring so much joy. And so one of the biggest things I believe that is missing in healthcare and life and everything is joy, because joy increases your quality of life. It increases your serotonin levels. All that kind of good stuff that you really need to be happy. So be a sunflower so that you can bring joy to others. And then if everyone is a sunflower, we'll all bring joy to each other.
I love that. I love that. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you so much for sharing your sister's journey. I hope that you understand that through sharing your story, someone else's life is going to be positively impacted. And I mean, hopefully one day we're going to see the systemic change that we all deserve, that our future generations deserve. And
That's the goal.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for listening to Now Included Unfiltered. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to give us a follow and leave a 5-star review. We'll see you next week. Next week on Now Included Unfiltered. Administrative law judge by day, also the CEO and owner of the Good Root Grove. And I am so excited because I need some lessons, girl. I need some lessons. I need some tips because I ain't got time to be eating healthy. I'm just glad to be eating once a day.
I'm so happy to be here to talk about the Good Root Grove Code. It's my baby, my new baby. I'm serving up functional mocktails, or drinks that I like to call them. So I'm introducing them to the community in a way that you can enjoy it every day and it not feel like something like a vitamin or something bad that you don't want to do. Some people don't like juices. They don't like those things. So you can do it in a nice, fun way.
I love that. I love that.